Hey guys, welcome to today and welcome to today's video. So in this video, we are going to have an open conversation and get honest about infertility, about pregnancy loss, miscarriage, and just talk about it. It's something that still has a lot of stigma. If you're new here, my name is Ayla. I'm an infertility warrior and an endometriosis warrior. And now I am thankful to be able to add mama to my titles. I'm an embryo adoption mama. My daughter Nova is 10 months old and she was conceived via embryo adoption. And although I am in this beautiful stage of life right now, I think that infertility is still a huge part of my life, and it's a huge part of what I want to try to advocate for and talk about, because I just think it's important to open up the dialogue about it. And something that's really amazing is I actually was able to include a lot of my community in this. I did a bunch of polls on Instagram, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to adding that aspect of the community's voice into this as well. So like I said, I am an infertility warrior myself. I had a 5-year journey through lots of different roads, different avenues that we tried. We ultimately went with embryo adoption. We did IVF with sperm donor as well. We've done IUIs. We've done, I've had surgeries for my endometriosis, and there's been a lot. We were even on the adoption list for a year. And something that's really, really amazing that has come to our life in the past couple months is that we were given the opportunity to write an article for this magazine called Toi Magazine. I just can't tell you how honored I have been to be a part of it. It's this magazine that just encompasses life. Like, it's got aspects on mental health, on infertility, on loss, grief. It's just incredible. So I actually have the magazine here. I haven't opened it yet because I wanted to give my honest reaction to seeing it for the first time. Something that was crazy. We didn't expect. We just figured it was a feature, and then all of a sudden it came out and I was like, oh my gosh, we're on the cover. So it was pretty exciting. It was really, like I said, an honor. So I wanted to just open it up and show you guys. Oh my goodness. No way. That is so cool. Look! Oh my gosh. Is this even real life? I don't even know. That is so cool. Here we are. Being open about infertility and embryo adoption with Ayla and Caleb. So it's really beautiful, and yeah, lots to read about our story, lots to read about just kind of everything. We talk about loss, about the pregnancy loss that I endured, and yeah, lots of stuff. So I will leave a link down below. There's also a online version that you can read. Check out some of the other articles and stuff like that. So I'll leave a link down below. You can also find the print copy. I'll leave that link as well. This is such an honor. I can't even. I'm gonna frame this. So I have also had the pleasure the last couple of months of getting to know the woman behind Toi Magazine. Her name is Autumn. She is such a kind person, and just her heart is just so genuine, and it has been such a pleasure getting to know her. She's so sweet. She's like always offering me support and being a listening ear. So this has just been a really great experience. But she also sent over some books that I want to share with you guys, because these are specifically geared towards dealing with loss and grief when it comes to your motherhood journey, your infertility journey, and your journey through loss and pregnancy loss. There was supposed to be a baby, and right away when I saw that title, I thought to myself, I have said those words. I have said those words out loud. And one of the pages that I thought was really interesting is that she gives a few examples of things that you can say to someone when you're dealing with a loss, and I find it so hard to know how to express how someone can support you. For example, it says, "Yes, I need help. Please sit with me while I cry. Don't talk, just sit." This one is called Loved Baby, and it has 31 devotions. Although myself, I'm not particularly religious, I did find there's just a lot of goodness in this, no matter what your faith is. Again, something that spoke to me was when she talks about verbiage and how we talk about miscarriage and how we we word it and what words we use and how some can be more hurtful than others. Yes, You Can Get Pregnant is a fertility guide. It talks about nutrition and different ways to kind of improve your body and your mind and your spirit. Someone's walking by. Okay, they didn't look. This one here is a stories, scripture, and self-care for women. And so there are 3 different stories from 3 different women talking about their journeys. So I'll have links to all of these 4 books down below for you to go check out. They're all available on Amazon. And again, the link to the magazine as well. And thank you, Toi Magazine, for partnering with me on today's video. It truly is an honor. Like, I can't even really express my words for how just incredible it is to be a part of this. So one of the things that sharing my life online has brought for me is perspective. And what I mean by that is that because I'm able to open up and to share kind of the emotions that I've been going through the journey and to talk about this openly, what I've done is kind of open this door for a lot of people to feel comfortable sharing with me. And so it's been an incredible blessing for me to be able to have conversations with a lot of you guys, to talk to you about your story and about your journey, and to offer some support where I can, or a listening ear. And so that has been one of the most heart-opening things that I could have asked for from this journey. I feel like it's created a lot of empathy in me, and yeah, just opened my eyes just to the reality of infertility and other journeys as well, like loss. And so I feel like that's something that I've always had, but I want to give back to you in a sense. You're able to watch my video and see my perspective, but the interesting thing is that a lot of the viewers that are also watching that video have their own perspective. So I want to be kind of a hub for this video and be the one that's able to share other people's perspectives, because you might not know them if it weren't for this funny online world. So what I've done is I went to Instagram and I put some polls, and I said, hey guys, I have a few polls coming up in the next slides, and I would really love it if you wanted to participate and help me out. It's for a video that I'm making about pregnancy loss and infertility. Even if you haven't experienced these things specifically, it would still be awesome if you voted on the polls. Thank you, thank you. So the first poll, have you ever experienced a miscarriage or a pregnancy loss? And it's just simple yes or no. And it's pretty eye-opening to see that it's pretty much down the middle. Yes was 46% and no was 54%, which was 1,286 votes for yes. 1,286 people. And I posted these about 12 hours ago, so it's not like a encompassing view. Just seeing that number, I think, really just puts that into perspective. That just our small little corner of the world right here, that there are that many people, and it just goes to show that you don't know everybody's story. So the next poll is, do you know someone who has experienced a miscarriage or a pregnancy loss? Wow, I'm just looking at these for the first time. Wow. So it was yes or no, and 94% voted yes and only 6% no. And so that number means 2,670 people said yes, they know someone who's experienced a miscarriage. And you know what? I bet that number could be even higher, because of course there are a lot of people that aren't sharing what they're going through. The next poll is infertility a part of your story? So of course a large part of my community has dealt with infertility, so keeping that in mind, but we do have a pretty even split. Again, yes is 52% and no is 48%. So votes for yes is 1,473. The next one, if you've done any kind of fertility treatment, IVF, IUI, Clomid, etc., were you successful on the first try? And the reason why I wrote this specific poll is because I think it's such a misconception that, okay, you have infertility, well, just go do IVF. Like, it's just, that's the answer, you know what I mean? And that was something that I was naive about myself. You save every dime that you've ever earned and you manage to make an IVF treatment possible, and then like, of course it's gonna work because there's doctors and this team and there's medication and it costs a lot of money. Of course it's gonna work. And I was devastated when it didn't work. I was so beside myself. And yeah, so anyways, the poll says yes it worked for the first try for 26% and no for 74%. So it's pretty clear there that a lot of people, the first try, that's not the case. And so votes for no was 1,132 votes. The next one I asked is, what one word would you choose to describe infertility best? So I'm going to read a few for you because, of course, there are a lot of words, but I think they all kind of have a common theme, and I might cry actually now that I'm looking at these. Okay, debilitating, heartbreaking, a journey, fear, painful, lonely, heartbreaking, unfair, jealousy, frustrating, challenging, uncertainty, cruel, consuming, a lesson, heartbreaking, a lot of heartbreakings, painful, lonely, soul-crushing, life-altering, infuriating, consuming, heartbreaking, unfair, draining, oh yeah, consuming, struggle, hope, unfair, lonely, exhausting, devastating, heartbreaking, overwhelming, hurtful, despair, lonely, loss, grief, emotional, horrible, exhausting, nightmare, lonely, utterly lonely and isolating, tiring, roller coaster, unpredictable, all-consuming, gut-wrenching, anxiety-provoking, guessing game, discouraging, a thief of dreams. Wow. I'm honestly very moved. Okay, and then the last poll was, how could someone support you the best through pregnancy loss and through your grief journey afterwards? So I'm going to read some of these out, and I think that this is just so valuable for everybody. Like if you're in infertility or through loss yourself, or if it's someone you know, or if you don't know anybody and this isn't part of your story at all, it's just important to just have this in your knowledge bank, so that if you were faced with it in 5 years, 10 years, by comforting me when I cry and validating my fears that came with it, not saying to move on. Let me wallow in it without drowning for a little bit. Prayer, just be with me. Don't ignore and just ask how I'm doing. After losing our baby, I just wanted people to acknowledge her and to talk about her. Just be there. If I need to talk, be there. If I'm sad or angry or defeated, just be there. Listen without judgment or suggestions. Just be there to hold your hand, let you cry and grieve. Just be an ear to listen. Don't listen to respond. Listen to listen. I think that we have a common theme here, for sure. To agree that it's unfair, not tell me it's for a reason, and tell me I love you. Acknowledge it and be there in the ways you need, but continue to treat you like normal. Not minimize the pain. Pray, provide meals, simply by acknowledging that the loss and the heartbreak are real without giving advice. Stop telling me to relax and encourage me to experience my emotions along the way. Just be there, listen, be a shoulder to cry on. So I think the biggest thing to take away from this poll is that when you're going through an incredible loss and you're dealing with grief, you just need to deal with that grief in your own way. And that someone being a support, you don't have to come up with the answers. They're not looking for answers at that moment. They're looking to deal with their grief. Wow, that was really powerful. Thank you everybody who took the time to answer the polls. I'm so honored that you chose to share that with me and that I'm able to share that in this video. I think it's very eye-opening to see just kind of, not that it's all about numbers, but just to kind of get perspective like that, I think is really valuable. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you got something out of it. If you are interested in sharing a little bit about your story, I would love to read it in the comments below. If you want to keep that private, you're welcome to send me a message on Instagram and I will hopefully be able to see that and respond and talk with you. Again, thank you to Toi Magazine for partnering with me on today's video and giving me just freedom of just doing whatever I wanted with it, supporting me along the way. It's really, really incredible. Check out the links down below. Like I said, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Thank you guys. Bye.